What is liberalism? Liberalism is founded on the belief that individual freedom should be the basis of a just society. Hence, liberalism is based on the moral argument that ensuring the right of an individual person to life, liberty, and property is the highest goal of government. This explains why adherents of liberalism emphasize the well-being of the individual as the fundamental building block of a just political system. Thus, a political system characterized by unchecked power, such as a monarchy or a dictatorship, cannot protect the life and liberty of its citizens. Therefore, the main concern of liberalism is to construct institutions that protect individual freedom by limiting and checking political power. The seeds of modern liberalism were planted in England in the 13th century with the signing of the Magna Carta, which weakened the unilateral power of the king over his minions. This started a process that eventually enshrined a number of individual rights in English law, such as a right to trial by jury and equality before the law. Modern liberalism was fleshed out as a comprehensive political philosophy by thinkers such as Thomas Hobbes, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, John Locke, and John Stuart Mill, and more recently by John Rawls. While they differed in their emphases and recommendations, all liberal thinkers were committed to the core idea that individuals were, and ought to be, fundamentally free to live as they choose. Philosopher John Locke argued that liberalism stemmed from our very nature, arguing that all people are essentially in a state of perfect freedom to order their actions, and dispose of their possessions and persons as they think fit, within the bounds of the law of nature, without asking leave or depending upon the will of any other man. Another important theme of liberalism is the importance of free speech. John Stuart Mill, for example, argued that each individual ought to be able to seek the truth for themselves rather than being obliged to accept the views imposed on them by authorities or tradition. And in order to seek truth, they need to be able to explore, express, and interrogate all beliefs and arguments. And the only way to do that was to allow wide-ranging free speech. As Mill writes, there ought to exist the fullest liberty of professing and discussing, as a matter of ethical conviction, any doctrine, however immoral it may be considered.